everyone, Achikah here, and it's Wednesday, so that means it's time for another DCUO based tour here on the channel, and I did say tour because today we are going to be touring one of my bases. Finally, it's been a minute. I usually work really slow, but this one actually came together in a month, and that's probably because I've technically built it before in one way or another. So, for a little bit of context, before it was the magical night market you guys have seen, Back Alley Bewitchery was actually called Alchemy Casa, and it was the first base I ever made. It was a magic shop in the front and a home for Achikah in the back, and I was really proud of it for a really long time until more spots started to come out for decorators. We went from 200 to 500 to 700. As you guys know, and as time went on and I grew as a decorator, it wasn't the same base as it was my home base, and I knew I could do better, so I wanted to revamp it, and I did, and it kind of took on a mind of its own and turned into Back Alley Bewitchery, the base you guys have seen today. So Alchemy Casa kind of got pushed to the side. And I can say now, happily, cut to a month ago, I started working on a new Alchemy Casa, and it came together very quickly, and here we are today. So, without further ado, I would like to present to you Achikah's magical manor of arcane astonishment, Alchemy Casa, circa 2022. So, welcome. So this is the entrance to the manor. I did use the manor theme this time. The original Alchemy Casa was in the gothic theme, just like Back Alley Bewitchery is. Of course, you cannot enter a magical manor in a normal way, so we have this cool glyphy portal here. It looks a little malevolent, but I promise, only thing it's capable of is giving you a bit of an arcane charge there, so a little static shock. Just enough to get the blood boiling. You'll be okay, I promise. Alright, so then cut to our foyer. Or I guess it'd be the grand hall here. Of course, Hecate is throughout the base, the mother of spells. Gotta stay on brand to match Arcane Athenium and Back Alley Bewitchery. Alcoves, I just went kind of simple, just some benches to sit and wait while the mistress of the manor descends the staircase. The other side was pretty vacant, but I put a couple of doors here, maybe for bathrooms, in case you need to use the lavatory before coming into the manor, or freshen up, all that good stuff. So next, we have the parlor, which again, just some more seating, but it's a much more intimate setting, a bit more cozy. Some more arcane things in here. Of course, you got the hearth. It's very welcoming and warm. And yeah, there's the parlor. Next, we'll ascend the stairs here. And the remainder of the grand hall is filled with a bunch of different artifacts that we've put into our collection to keep safe. A bunch of arcane artifacts from around the multiverse. Also, if you have to ask about the yellow eyes of Gemini and why not a bunch of multicolored ones, well, Achikah definitely likes yellow because I like yellow. So I decided to put yellow eyes up around the manor. So the upper decks, like I said, are just filled with a bunch of different artifacts that we're here to keep safe. Thanks to the Justice League Dark Society, they've allowed the okay. We're not as powerful as the Tana and Constantine, but we're powerful enough to keep what we got here under wraps. So just to help keep some storage. And I kind of did what I did in Arcane Athenium up here with the doors and the vaulting. But instead of paintings, I decided to put artifacts here. And when I say artifacts, I mean items I usually wouldn't get to put in other bases that I really like. And since it's kind of a random effect, it works out okay. That's why I like museum bases, kind of, because you can put whatever items you want in there and it makes sense. So, in our parlor, we have a tarot card nook here up top. I really like the tarot card nook that I did in Back Alley Bewitchery, and because I chose to close off this hallway with the fireplace here and turn the manor theme into more of a linear setting than a circular one, I only had a few spots to deal with in this area, so I really like the spirit table, and again, I like the metal cards here, so I thought a tarot card room fit this room pretty nicely with very minimal spots. So you can have your fortune read here, so that's kind of fun. On the other side, we have a few more artifacts here. And these windows are throughout. I thought I wanted to definitely give the manor a view. And I thought these windows, I rarely get to use them, but I thought it'd be kind of neat to have the manor betwixt a bunch of mountains in a very remote location. Kind of like it teleports like Dracula's castle in Castlevania a little bit. So we're in the mountains today. Get a bit of fresh air. So our next is the hallway, which is just filled with more artifacts, as well as a very watchful guardian here, which makes a lot of sense given the spirit photography room. That is next. Enter the void and have Madame Achikah take your picture to show your aura and any spirits you have taken up upon your journey. Don't worry, the only ghost in Alchemy Casa are friendly ghosts. They haunt with love, not malevolence. As you can hear, Constance is in the walls making quite a ruckus in the spirit photography room. I really wish there was a chroma backdrop for the ceiling. I need to request it for an item, because then this could be a complete void and it would be awesome. But honestly, if you're approaching like this, that still looks really cool. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the whole house. With the ambiance and the sound and the creepy chair and the camera. So alright, next we have just a few more paintings and artifacts. Bye, Constance! I'll return later, I promise. So, next we have the observatory / bedroom area here. We have the orrery with a bunch of different, of course, representing the multiverse, and then a bunch of different universes above. And in the observatory, we track that with star charts and all kinds of other good notes and stuff. I really like these Atlantean tables a lot. I don't really use them as much as I should. And to find things you need throughout the multiverse, we have a scrying pool here with a crystal. So you can, if you're trained in the arcane arts, you can find just about any object, person, or thing you're looking for. And input the coordinates magically with our glyphs here and open this door to find what you need. I wanted to really keep this room open and kind of so it could breathe a bit. So I chose not to put any divider walls here and have it kind of like open a bit. Because I feel like if you use a lot of these walls, these are here for privacy reasons. I'll show you guys. Like, I mean, it's a closet and a bathroom, so, or a changing room. So it makes sense to have privacy, but that's why I wish there were more half walls in the game, so that rooms could be open up and breathe a bit more than be stark and dark and cramped, I guess. So here is the bedroom area. Again, very simple. For some reason, this corner of the manor has a lot less light than the other three corners I've noticed in this room. So I decided to put the gothic windows behind the bed to kind of offset that, so it still was very warm and bright behind the bed, while dealing with the very shadowed area here. Especially since the curtains also, I think, like, the layers of this actually cast more shadow. Maybe. I don't really know. I don't really use the lavish bed too often, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to use it. It also looks very opulent, which I think kind of fits for a manor theme. So, of course, I never do bathrooms in any of my bases, however, mainly because there's not really a lot of choices in toilets and sinks and all that stuff. We really need some just basic accents for our base rather than like grandiose pieces of furniture. So, yeah, I don't really. And also, bathrooms take up space, and you could just easily put a door up and put a restroom sign above it, and boom, you have a bathroom. But in the magical manor, I had to make a proper bathroom. So here we have some privacy curtains, and then where you do your business, we have the toilet and the sink, and the cabinet, of course. And if I'm going to make a magical manor bathroom, it is definitely going to have the most awesome bathtub that I possibly could make. Complete with some mystic rivers flowing through for the water. It's on sauna mode right now, as you can see, with all the fog in the air. I did have a water puddle down here, or a pond. However, it was like it barely covered the bottom of my shoe, so it didn't really feel right to have that in there, so I decided to go with the drain for now. Maybe if they come out with a higher water thing, it might be a bit better. Like, you know, if it came up to your waist, that'd be really cool. But for now, I'll just leave it as is. I might try and put some water in there later on if something else comes out. And then for the shelf back here is just a bunch of different magical and herbal remedies from, you know, if you've had a long day of raiding and need to recover in a nice long soak, therapeutic soak. You can have some, you know, oils and bubble baths too if you just want to relax, all that good kind of stuff. So lots of soaps and oils and herbal remedies back there. So this was actually inspired by all of you. I have been touring your bases for about 8-9 months now, something almost like it's been a while, and all you guys have been using your armories in really cool ways, and I tend to just throw my armories in a base and not really do anything with them. So with Alchemy Casa, I really wanted to make something with my armory, so that way when it came to my base, it was, you know, ingrained and part of the base. So I decided to make a walk-in closet. Not as creative as what a bunch of you guys have done with your armories, but I try. I'm not really a fashionista on the game. As you can see, I'm still wearing my OG outfit from like 2012 or whenever. I think the last thing I added was the Celtic top and back to my outfit. So we have a changing room here with a mirror and, of course, an armory for accessories and shoes and all that good stuff, and the chase to relax as we do so. And then here is the walk-in closet to the Council of Achikahs. Got my DPS, my battle healer, my main healer, EOG, and then single target DPS, which you guys saw this one in Elysian Glory, actually. So yeah, like I said, I'm not too big on the fashion, but I definitely wanted a place to come and imprint all my armories pretty easily. Also, it is a bit cramped in here, so I have to be really careful when I imprint, but that's fine. Hopefully I won't ruin my afternoon by having to re-imprint one of these days. Just have to take it slow. Alright, so we're moving on to the library area here, which is, it's pretty simple. It's just a bunch of books. I have to have a library in a magical manor. Of course, also we have a sitting area here, so you could take your afternoon tea while you're reading. Achikah, the master sorceress she is, definitely enjoys a good book. And here's our guard cat here. Hello. Ever vigilant as always. Just like mine, who is completely hovering over me as I'm filming this, so. So Achikah is probably one of the only sorceresses in the game who is acrobats and not flight. So you need the stepping stool to reach some of those books up top, unless you want to try and Spider-Man your way up there and knock everything down as you do. And not all books within the library are meant to be read. Some are meant to be kept under lock and key, including the crime Bible here. But don't worry, it is under a very heavy sigil, ward of protection. So we're good. We're safe from all the malevolence that's in there, including that little cat doll. I was initially going to have one of the secret passageways here so that it's hidden, but I kind of like it open. I also figured that anybody who is invited into the magical manor, that is Alchemy Casa, probably would have credentials enough to be trusted not to break or try and fiddle with the ward. So, leaving it open is a good reminder that, it's not all fun and games here at Alchemy Casa. There is a bit of seriousness and darkness lurking in the shadows. So at the end of the library is the study, where we try and conduct a bunch of experiments and readings to try and find different magical potentials throughout the multiverse. Lots of books, alchemy stations, anything that can help us create new spells, find new power sets, create potions, all that good stuff. So, and of course, we have the gigantic desk full of chaos and messiness that matches my own in real life, since I tend to unfortunately thrive in chaos. So there you go. That is yes. The library actually extends into the next room for a very specific reason that I'm really excited to show you guys. So we have another reading nook here. And as we get to the end of the hall here. Ta-da! You guys can finally see the entrance teleporter. Hey everyone, Achikah here, and it's someday, so it's time to do things. So yeah, this actually was, besides the first areas that started the base, right? Like, this one really, this one's been here for a while, because I had to make this to do my base entrances in. So yeah, this is just where I get to view all your beautiful bases from. So thank you again for inviting me over and letting me in to check out all your creations, because you guys definitely inspire me on a regular basis. So it's really cool to be able to see all that. Yes, I know, right? Oh, man. Okay, so why don't we get to the awesome part of the manor that is my favorite part personally, where I spent all of my spots on, which is the potion and food prep areas. This one was heavily inspired by the Skyrim houses in the new Creators Club pack that came out for the HD version. I guess it's not new anymore, but yeah. And also Howl's Moving Castle a little bit, So here is our barbecue pit, first off. This was made with Rill, actually. He helped out a lot with this one, because I definitely wanted to use one of these hanging meats. However, they don't fit in the hallway, and the manor ceilings are very high. So having meat this high up off the ground seemed like I wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. However, we created this cool barbecue pit together. So thank you, Rill, for all the help. Rill was in here actually while I was building this pretty avidly. We had a lot of fun doing so. So shout out to Rill. But yeah, so the meat's roasting here. You can hear it roasting over the open flame. And then we have a barren hook and unlit pyre as well for meats to come. And of course we catch all the beef drippings and unwanted offal and blood here for our potions. So nothing goes to waste here in Alchemy Casa. Next is the dining room, which I really adore. It's, of course, it's got the harp here. Give the ambiance. And a table full of delicious delicacies. All prepped in our kitchen here on site. Yeah, it's just a nice sitting area, too. Just a bunch of different seats to have a drink, get warm by the fire, have some good food with some good people. Yeah. I really love the cobblestone walls, too, against the, like, cherried wood of the mystical arches. It's very nice. So there's the dining hall. So next on our tour, we have one of the first things that I made in the base. The Alchemy Garden, of course the teleporter was number one, but to actually start creating the base, this as well as the Alchemy Garden were the two things that were made. And by this, I mean the dual hearth. So we have an open hearth here with an eternal flame that bellows all day and night, very magically, mystically. And on one side, you have the kitchen for food prep, and on the other side, you have the potion lab. So you can grill up your alchemy ingredients or roast them or char them, whatever is needed to get the most magical potential out of them. We have a tray here that we've collected from our alchemy garden, actually. You can take a look at that. All waiting to be prepared for the potion area. And over here we have our potion bottling section. So these are all the finished potions that we've created. All kinds of good stuff here. And of course the bellows for the... It is technically an eternal flame, so I don't know if bellows are needed, but it felt right to add some bellows to this big old hearth. So, you know. So, adjoining the potion bottling area, of course, we have to have the potion lab where all of our potions are made and fermented. So, first off, here is our laboratory where we test and create all kinds of good stuff. Very carefully. There's no explosions ever to be had here. Right? This place is all warded. It's consecrated. It's all good, so it should be alright. So we have our lab here where we take small samples for potions to see how potent they are, how good the idea is, of course, just kind of trial and error sort of thing. And then, you know, a bunch of ingredients too to play around with, all that good stuff. And once we realize that they're all, you know, up to snuff and they're potent enough, or the potential is great enough, we transfer them over to the big boy pots where they can ferment and grow and get more powerful. So these two look like they're doing okay here. This one, however, I don't know. It seems like it's a bit lacking, right? Let's see if we can't fix that here. So let's take a few things out of here. Alright. So why don't we add this? And then we'll add some of that. And I think that should... maybe just a little bit of that. Alright, so let's see here. Hey, there we go. That's a bit better. A little bit more lively. Give it some time. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let's test it, though. Let's see how it's doing here. Give it a little testy test. And... oh! Not exactly the desired effect. I think I added one too many rubber chickens. No worries. We are sorceresses, so we can definitely unhex ourselves, luckily. Definitely a little bit less rubber chicken next time, though. But that's for another time. We're in the middle of a tour. No more shenanigans with that. Alright, so next we're on to the kitchen area. So the opposite side of the hearth. Again, we have the dual bellows here for both different ovens. Lots of cookbooks over various generations of all kinds of good and yummy foods to create, of course. And we have our own herb garden here fresh herbs straight from the planter's box. Of course, mortar and pestle, a chopping block, again, more recipes, cookbooks, all that good stuff. And again, we have a magical sink here, flowing from our mystic grove, just like in our bathroom. And again, more herbs and all kinds of good stuff like that too. Shout out to Rill for suggesting the casino tables. They're very difficult to kind of work with, but they turned out really well, especially the roulette table into the column. So thanks for the idea, Rill. That was really good. And then again, we have this side of the hearth, which has a bunch of food that's roasting. And one of my favorite things, I know it's so dumb, but I made a frying pan! Look, it's a frying pan! It's not the best frying pan I know, and it does kind of look like a, what do you call it, like a pizza tray, I guess, especially next to an oven that looks like this. But, I mean, I don't know, I'm very proud of that. My little frying pan. Alright, so we have seen where all the food is prepped and cooked, so why don't we go see where all the food comes from, at least a little bit here. Let's see. So we have our pantry. This is our food pantry area, and as you guys know, I love a good storage area, so this is probably my favorite part of the base is this little hallway right here, and I definitely used way too many spots, and I don't care, because I enjoy it a lot. So we have a bunch of cured meats, of course the butchering area here, drying herbs, unlike our fresh ones from the planter boxes in the kitchen. We have a nice shipment of pumpkins in, because it was that time of season when I was decorating. It still kind of is. Also, we don't just ferment potions. We also have some ales on tap for any of our friends who want some libations while visiting Alchemy Casa. And just some other dried pantry goods here as well. And this, of course, is the other pantry, but it is the alchemy pantry, which this is my personal favorite part of the base. I love this so much. And the alchemy garden was the first thing I made in this base. Which used up way too many spots, and I don't care. I'm unapologetic about it. And I love it. It's every time I go to use my bank, I am so super happy about it. So why don't I describe this area first before I get into that? So of course we have the magical holly, as you see, that we used in our our potion. Very important for the alchemy, alchemization of potions. Lots of herbs drying over the fireplace here for our potions. And of course fire for the fireplace. And then a desk to take inventory or muse about different combinations for different potions, as well as the books, of course, multiple books, lots of writing for this sorceress. As you guys know, I can't go without my ledgers, so I have to write everything down. And, of course, at the end we have our alchemy garden, which is just filled with a bunch of different vernal things and bugs and anything and everything you could think of to add to a potion. We have our basket here for picking things that we need, as well as trays to load up to take to the hearth or the potion area. Butterflies and bees. This was super heavily influenced by when you can make your own base in Skyrim, you can choose an alchemy tower sort of thing, which gives you all kinds of ingredients to make potions. And yeah, I wanted to do something like that. I really love that area. It's probably one of my favorite areas, like in Skyrim, that you can make. And I wanted to kind of transfer that over to DC. And these wooden pews worked out so well for planter boxes. Like, that's one of my new favorite things. They're using these wooden pews. One of my new favorite pieces of furniture. And with that, I think you guys have seen all of Alchemy Casa. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was probably a very long tour. I get very long-winded when I'm excited. So if you made it to this part, thank you so much for watching all the way through. I always really appreciate it. Stay tuned Friday for Base Off. That should be coming up here. Hopefully everything will be ready. I've been working on it for a very long time, at least like very furiously the past 2 weeks, but also it's been in the works for quite a few months now too. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys think of that. So stay tuned for Friday. Yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.